the Lancet, demonstration artist and trainer for Inception News. Let's talk about CueiT. In order to get running orders into our teleprompting software, we have to start by monitoring our running order inside Inception. That happens here. Click this red flag icon to monitor. When we monitor a running order, we're basically activating that rundown to communicate with all the configured MOS devices inside this particular rundown. If this is a brand new MOS device, make sure you're changing the existing MOS devices in the settings of each rundown you're looking to prompt. Now, heading over to our CueiT software, we see the monitored running order over here on the right under the drop-down that says MOS. When I double-click on that running order, all the scripts inside that running order will load here on the left. This tab up top should be blinking green, meaning communication between Inception and this running order in CueiT is running smoothly. You're also going to want to make sure down on the bottom left of your CueiT you see connected to dongle, connected to MOS, and monitoring changes. Now to begin prompting, you can click on one of three icons. This little square here, over here, and down here as well. And that's going to bring up this prompt window. While you're prompting, keep in mind that any changes that happen inside the rundown in Inception will happen in real time as a script is being prompted. So if you're floating a story inside Inception, that change will reflect in CueiT as well. That being said, if you're making changes to a rundown, it can be done in CueiT, but it's recommended you make those changes directly in Inception, since the record of that change will be reflected in the archived rundown. The MOS communication is a one-way street in that way, so changes in Inception are reflected in CueiT, but changes made inside CueiT will not reflect inside Inception. Provided you have a hand controller or a foot pedal, you can operate the teleprompter by using that. If you're attaching a controller, the specific settings for that controller live here under the Prompt tab. Just click on Controller Settings here and configure things like speed and LED brightness. If you don't, there's an on-screen controller here. To scroll forward, move this bar to the right. Backward, move the bar to the left. If we're looking to blank the screen, we can do so here with this stop button. This would usually be routed to the teleprompter on camera, and in that case, I can bring up a preview window so the prompter operator can follow along on this machine. We can also customize the way our prompting output looks. I can change the background color or the text color here. Also, if I'm looking to change the style of that marker, I can do that in this drop-down. We have a couple different options. There's a square, a triangle, a circle, or we can choose not to have any marker at all. If I want to move the marker around on the prompt output itself, it's as simple as a click and drag. In the slug line visibility section here, you can choose to hide all blank lines in the prompt output or force all uppercase on prompted text. Keep in mind that this will force all sought text into uppercase as well. Here's a tip. If you want to change the way prompt output looks for specific text types, you can do so here under the Script tab. To edit, simply right-click, hit Edit, and you can make those changes here. The reason we'd separate out production cues and sought text is so we can distinguish between what's actual anchor read text and what's an instruction for the production staff. In a prompt output, it's also a way for the anchor to know what's coming next. If we're looking at an Inception script, we have several different colors of text indicating different pieces of the script. Sought text in Inception is green. Remember, that's any pre-produced content rolling within our script. So that would be a soundbite or a tracked open or a package. Production cues are in maroon text. Meantime, inside Inception, we can delegate which script items are going to the prompter. To do that, we go to the Configuration menu, the Editorial page, then the Production Cues tab. From there, we go to Configure Elements and indicate which script items we want going to prompter. There are 5 different types of production cues: anchor reads, graphic cues, take, camera, and other. We also have sought text here and note text as well. Keep in mind, the sought text is always going to go to the prompter for closed captioning reasons. The blue note text in a script will never be sent to the teleprompter. Finally, when I'm through prompting and I'm ready to close out CueiT, I can exit out of this rundown by clicking the X here. CueiT is going to ask me if I'm sure I want to do that, and I can say yes. I'm also going to be prompted to save this running order. Unless you want a .que file to come back to later, you really don't need to save it. Now, I'll go back to Inception and unmonitor this rundown. Once I do that, back in CueiT, it'll disappear from that Moss dropdown on the right of the home screen. That's a look at CueScript and teleprompting. If you have any other questions, be sure to visit the Inception page on rossvideo.com or take a look at our online forums. Thanks for watching.